Hello, American student children. Time now for Article 1, Section 7 of Constitution of United States of America. As read to you by me, Sergei Lomonosov, Russian paratrooper who managed to survive the hell of Afghanistan. And let me tell you, kids, it was really terrible there. Some people say, Sergei, what was it like in Afghanistan? I say, you weren't there, you can't possibly know. And in fact, many of the people who were there don't know because they were I don't know. Let's go to Constitution. You have a test to come up on this. I am certain of it. So you want to study, not hear about how all my comrades were selling their guns for opium and then getting addicted and then being shot at by their own weapons and then losing and it's depressing. Okay, so we go to Constitution, which is depressing, but of a different sort of depressing, because you see how things go. I show you. I depress you a different way now. Okay. Article 1, Section 7. Revenue bills, legislative process, presidential veto. All bills for raising revenue shall originate in the House of Representatives, but the Senate may propose or concur with amendments as on other bills. It's like basically saying any bill that deals with government spending or increasing taxes, you have to have the decency to ask the poor people of America to look at it first. Then the Senate will tear it up or change it or whatever they do. You have to ask the poor people first. Just let them know you're going to get taxed. Okay? Okay. Now here's your tax. Here's your spending. Then the Senate can do whatever it does. If the Senate doesn't like the bill, it can vote a totally different version. Just because it starts there doesn't mean they have any special powers with it. But it is questioned on AP exams frequently and other tests. Where does these bills start? In the House. So you know now. Okay? Then there's the huge paragraph that talks about this legislative process. It starts with every bill which shall have passed the House of Representatives and the Senate. Okay, so bill has to first pass the House and the Senate. It could start in Senate, then go to House, could start in House, then go to Senate. Okay? And it's got to pass both of them. Now, one should also note that there are special rules. Let's say bill passes House and then goes to Senate. Senate changes bill, but passes it. Then the bill will go to a conference committee where the House and Senate will both talk about their different versions, iron them out, and then get the conference version of the bill, send it back to House and Senate. They don't change nothing on it. They just vote yes or no on these. They can debate, but they don't change it. Okay? Now, if the same version pass in the House and then pass also in Senate, then there's no need for conference committee. Okay. But anyway, so let's say the legislature say, yeah, we like this bill. It passes. It made it all the way through. It got on the House Rules docket. It went to a committee, went to a subcommittee. They like it in subcommittee. They like it in the committee. The House will vote on it. Goes to Senate. The Senate committee liked it. Senate subcommittee liked it. The whole Senate liked it. Everybody likes this bill. It's a one heck of a bill. Everybody's loving it. Then it shall, before it become a law, be presented to President of United States. Here you go, President. What do you think of bill? Well, if he approve, he shall sign it, but if he shall not, he shall return it, with his objections to that house in which it shall have originated. So let us say President goes, you think you're so hot, Mr. Bill. I don't like you. No, veto. That is Latin for I don't like it. So, and then he writes his objections. The bill smells bad, or whatever. Sends it back to the first place where it started. Then they enter their objections on their journal, and then they proceed to reconsider it. So, if 2/3 of both the houses reconsider and approve this bill, then the president veto, sorry, it does not work. Now, veto of bill is rare. President hardly ever will veto. And override of veto is also rare. But I should say, one of the very important bills of modern Congress is the War Powers Resolution, where Congress passes this bill which limits the president's powers at deploying troops. And then the president vetoed, President Nixon vetoed, and then the Congress, both houses, had two-thirds majority. They overrode that veto and said, no, Mr. President, you're going to face these limitations. And it's very interesting because it deals with the power to declare war or the power to not declare war and still have war. Very interesting. We talk about that in next section, the War Powers Act. So, anyway, then they reconsider, and when they do a two-thirds vote, they have to write down all the voters when they do the veto override. And if they override, then it becomes law. There's one more way the bill can become vetoed. If, let us say, the Congress is just before they leave, they pass a bunch of bills and say, okay, great, we finally passed these bills, we go home, take them to President. President could sign bills into law, make them law, or he could say, I'm not signing this bill. And then 10 days later, if Congress is still not in session, the bill is not law. It's what is called pocket veto. Now, if the Congress is in session and the president doesn't sign it, he's just being a bit of a jerk and say, look, I don't like the bill, but it is going to be law. Not for 10 days it don't. But if Congress is not in session, bill is not become law. It's called pocket veto. But anyway, that is the pocket veto. Then it says here, every one of these resolutions, orders, and votes that the House and Senate votes on goes to be presented to the President of the United States. They just re-emphasize what is in the first part there. So there you go. How the bill becomes law. That is the short version. I could make it a longer version by talking about how interest groups will influence committees to do this and that, how people will amend the bills with things that make no sense, but these things they want, so they put like legal things they want to on a bill that everyone wants to make everyone vote for this other thing. It is the pork barrel politics, it is called. I could do all that, but why don't we just, take a short note here and let this be the last bit of what I have to say. Okay, so until Section 8 of Article 1, the powers of Congress, this is Sergei Lomonosov saying, До свидания.